Welcome to my YouTube channel. It's a pleasure having you here. If you guys don't know, Riten is currently owns a startup called Fueler, which you can use in order to get a job. And let's learn more about Fueler and Riten. So, how are you, Riten?
Hey, hi Kaarthik. Thanks for having me. First of all, so it's a pleasure, and I'm super excited and happy to be here. So I'm super fine at the moment. Just working with Fuller and everything. So today only we reached 4,000 plus users. Okay, so hopefully like we'll reach to some more numbers in the coming months. Okay, so yeah, thank you.
And we have interacted a lot through Twitter and Discord, but I'm keen to know more about your journey. So, what was your Fueler journey like?
Okay, so so like Fuller has a long story, like so we started with some other platform, we started with a different platform initially, then we pivoted to Fuller in last year itself. Okay, so we were building something else. So you can say we were building a platform where we just invite companies to say post for any job or internship, and folks would just come and apply, But we had no idea that ideas are not enough. You have to work on some several other stuff. Okay, so for example, you have to also become the right person to work on an idea. Okay, so it's like we were trying to bring franchises, okay, without having the IPL team. Okay, so like then we thought of yeah, let's work on this from start. Let's do it from scratch. Also, like we pivoted our name, we rebranded our name as well. It was a different name before, but then we changed it to Fueler, okay, so that it's more relevant to people. Okay, people as in like Fueler represents an individual, right? So I am an individual. If I'm a fueler, so how can I fuel a company or a organization or any sort of collaboration or anything, right? So fueler represents an individual. It's a sense of say contribution that I can make. Okay, so that's how fueler comes in into the picture. Okay. And I guess that was one of our best decisions that we made. Okay, changing the name. So startup really matters at the today's time. It really matters. Like having a name that is catchy and obviously it's very short enough so that it connects with people. So yeah, this is pretty much our journey, and yes, like there are so many other things. So yeah.
So, when did you get the idea of Fueler? Like, is it in the college days or even
Okay.
way back?
Wait, okay. So like during my college, I told you, right? So like this idea that we started with, so that was back in my mind during my colleges itself. Like I had these friends. They keep saying there are no job in the market. They were like why we are doing engineering and stuff. There is no job. There is no job for particular niche and branch and stuff. So this is, I guess, this is a story for every tier 2 3 colleges. So like I was like, this is not true, right? This word is not true. There are jobs in the market, there are opportunities. Let's not call it a job, let's call it an opportunity, because it covers a lot of stuff. Okay, so like you can just go in a company, and if you are able to prove someone that yes, you are capable, and like you are worthy enough to get that job, you will get it. It just you have to become that person to get the job, right? So we thought like let's work on this. Like this is a very simple idea. Very, if you think it from a macro perspective, you understand that it's a very simple idea. Right? A company needs has a requirement, and there is a person who is just capable enough of that for that opportunity, right? And they can just like you can sync both of them, and yeah, that way one can land opportunity, right? So yeah, that was in my mind. But as I told you, right, we executed, we got into the market. We collaborated with a lot of companies, we onboarded them. Then we understood like what was wrong, like why companies should like trust us. Like there should be some trust quotient as well. So like that's when I gave you that analogy of like bringing the franchisee owners without having the IPL team. So like that's when we realized we were doing it wrong. Okay, and also at that point in time, like we also joined Twitter. Okay, so Twitter, you can say that is second number point where like it has been a very turning point for us. Like why? Because see, like we were building the platform, as well as like we were marketing it in a different platform. Okay, so like we were targeting the wrong audience. Okay, and it was also on the different channel. Then on Twitter, like you can say we actually found our audience. We got our target audience over there. It's like Twitter is more like a place where you would find early adopters, who will help you with the feedbacks. Also, they understand the product that you are building. Okay, so you can say that's when we realized, yeah, this is the precise problem we have to solve. Currently, if I try to explain you what exactly happens is, if you learn, and after learning there is this learning opportunities, right? But in between there is this layer. Okay, that layer is known as validation. Okay, that validation is basically your proof of work. So if you have learned something, so what is the proof of it? Have you created something out of it? Can you show it to me? Like, is it published somewhere? Okay, because really add credibility to your identity, you know. So and we saw that startups are like very time saving, you know. We ourselves, being a startup, we are very time saving, right? We don't have time to go through our resumes and stuff, you know. We just see work of yours, we just get it, we just jumped into it, you know, just go through it, okay, and based on that we make decisions. And yeah, after what happens after that, we just get on a call and we onboard that way. So we are like, why not like take it to the world, you know, like. And obviously my personal journey is also involved in this. I have been into freelancing for more than 4 years, okay. Started back in my college days itself, okay. So from there, like I have got to work with more than 60 plus brands, and you wouldn't believe, like, all of these were inbound, you know, inbound, because like I had my proof of work in multiple platforms. So that way clients or say brands, they reached out to me, okay. So that's when I realized, like, this proof of work thing is so powerful. Like, why not like build it for a generalist individual, okay, multi-skilled individual, where you can upsell the client as well, you know. Also you can like provide multiple solutions to them, right? So being a freelancer, you can say, like, you understand the problem, right? Where like where you have this problem where you all your work are in different platforms. So why not like publish all your work in a single platform? It's so simple and fast, okay. And through that you can reach out to clients, right? So yeah, you can say my personal experience also has been there since we're building Fueler.
And that's
Yes.
great actually. Since you have mentioned that you have worked with 60 plus brands, which I even read on your bio. So can you just
Oh,
give
thank
me
you.
like few tips when it comes to freelancing,
Okay, so like first of all, like tips regarding like outreaching, or like what exactly, like dealing with them, upselling
dealing
them.
with
So
clients?
okay, so whenever you are dealing with a client, you have to think of experience. Okay, so there is this book, I'll tell you, I'll suggest everyone to read this. Like it's basically Blue Ocean Strategy. Okay, the Blue Ocean Strategy. Okay, so it mainly discusses about how you can differentiate yourself, right? So there are certain points that you have to keep in your mind. Okay, so when you're dealing with a client, you have to understand from their point of view. Okay, you have to understand the company first, like what they're trying to do, what are their products, you know, like what are their offerings and what they have done till date. Okay, go to their website, check out their social, and obviously it depends what kind of services that you are going to offer. So it's like, do your homework really well, okay, where you have to understand that company super fast, you know. Just understand it super fast and just act on it, okay. Prepare something, okay. Just think in your mind that you have to offer a exceptional like service to that client, you know, like the initial interaction, right? What you have prepared for them, okay. This has worked for me. Now whenever I got this inbound, like they used to say, hey Riten, like I'm available for this and stuff. So I was like, yeah, just give me a second, like I'll just get back to you, know. So I just I interact with the client, you know. I do homework and research about them, and just get back to them and just give them, you know, like like, yes, I have found this sort of things, you know, like, and this is something you should be working on, and maybe I can help you with that, you know. And at times I have given some of the samples as well. So that thing like gives an exceptional experience to the client, you know. So that way you're automatically setting yourself different, you know, like different from the crowd, okay. Even though that client won't be working with you, okay. Sometimes there are so many cases, okay. So sometimes they cannot afford you, sometimes like they have already hired someone, okay. But if you have given such experience, it's already in their mind, okay. So whenever the next time they have this opportunity, like the requirement for this, right, so they will recall about you. That's the best thing. Okay, so in a simple language, I'll suggest this. Okay, try to differentiate yourself. Okay, try to learn about the product. Okay, their offerings, and think from an owner mindset. That is the I guess like that is every brand owners like hiring freelancers. They want this from a freelancer. You know, like think like us. Okay, so yeah, I guess this would be my from point from my end.
And since you seems to be an expert in freelance, I did ask Abhishek when I had a call with him, like, is it? Do you think that it's good to charge them in hourly basis, or should I just quote a whole amount?
Okay, so it depends on the work. Okay, also your experience. To be very honest. Okay, and it also depends on the geographic locations as well. You know. Yes, to be very honest. So like some places, you know, some geographic locations, they agree on this. You know, they are happy to pay on a hourly basis. But also it depends. Since I told you about the project, you know, sometimes if the project is not long enough, okay, you can just put it in the form of just project basis. You know, you can just tell them, right, this is my budget, okay, or based on a requirement, okay, this is the time I'm going to take, and this is the quotation, okay. So if you're interested, we can work, okay. And if you see this project will go long, because see, you are the person to understand like how much it would take for you, right, to execute, right. So you have to tell them like this is how it is going to take, okay, and this is my hourly rate. So like based on that, and again, like it depends on your experience. Again, I told you, right. If you are someone who can deliver exceptional design services or say any sort of services. Okay, so like it you are in that position where you can like just quote that person, because that person like definitely requires you, right? They are already in love with your work, so whatever you say, like they will pay you. And yes, also at times, like there are brands, who prefer this mode of payment on it, where they will pay you on the hourly basis. It's just they need quality work. That's the point. We have worked with some of the clients, they are happy to pay. They were so happy to pay. It's like we were charging them less. In fact, we were charging them less. They were so happy to pay because they saw the work. They saw our like proof of work. That was the main thing. They saw what exactly we have done. How we have done, and obviously when we delivered, the communication that you have over there, like maybe you address each of the problems very very carefully. Like you handle them very gently. You tell them, you mention about each and every stuff. So based on that, the other person, they are very comfortable. They are so worryless about about hiring you. So they are so trusted, like they trust you so well. Hey, like this is the person I want to work with. So like this, it's like a combination of a lot of things. Okay, so if you learn about human psychology, like human behavior, like how to communicate, so these all things you understand, like what a person or what a brand requires, right? What they expect from you.
Yeah,
Okay, so I hope like I answered your question.
because
Yeah.
because it's like when I had a call with Abhishek, he just asked me that how much do you charge on hourly basis. I said I basically charge around $10 per hour. He was like, no, you shouldn't quote this low. Since you're working on design field, you should really quote high amount. I was like, okay, I'm not sure how to fix my money if I'm coding for a client. So that's why I've asked this question to you, and you seems to be giving a lot of information regarding this. And
Yeah.
now let's jump back to your college days. I think you have won a grant, right? Chopra SK Velocity
Yes.
grant. So what was it like,
Yes.
and what was your experience in winning them?
Okay, so we have won two grants till date. So what one was Paras Chopra, like the SK Velocity grant. So I don't know. That was like out of the blue. I never thought I would make it. So very honest. I never thought I would make it. So yeah, that was one of those. Also, there was another that was from my state. Like it's a state grant. Okay, so we are currently a state recognized startup. So based on that, they give you some grant. So, are you asking about the experience of the both of them? Like which
Yes,
one? Which one precisely?
Chopra grant. Did it really help your growing your own startup fueler
Oh,
in any
like
way?
see, it has the previous one. It helps you helps us because like it helps you trust. It helps you build trust. So let me give you some of the facts here. Facts as it see building a startup takes up a lot of things. Okay, it's not just about the idea. I don't know what other people would say, but it's not just about the idea. Okay, it's about you. Okay, it's about you. Who are you? From where you're coming from. Okay, what are your tags? What are your affiliations? Like what is your background? These are all things really matters. Trust me. A lot of people would say it doesn't matter, but it does. Okay, it does, because I am the person who can tell you it does. I come from some same background without having any credibility, anything. So like when you grow from scratch, now you come to the market, you tell, even if you have a great product, nobody will see to it. Because what is your affiliation? Like who is backing it? Who is supporting this? Is there anyone who's supporting this? So this thing really matters. So even they are not wrong. It's like say for example, you go onto the internet, maybe you go to Twitter, and suddenly someone, okay, comes to you, they DM you, and they say, okay, hey, hi, Kaarthik, like I have built this platform. Okay, so like can you try this out and tell me? And you see their follower is just maybe 100 or 200, right? So you mostly most of the time you might check, okay, like what is it, okay, but most of the time you won't be bothering, okay, like who is it, I don't trust him, okay, like I don't think it will be worth for my time, and stuff. So these things really matter. Okay, so the first time that we won the grant from the from Paras Chopra, so I guess that thing really helped us because also like while applying from the grant for the grant, I mentioned this sort of stuff, because what are the challenges that we are facing. I come from a northeast India, very limited exposure and very limited stuff here. And this sort of stories doesn't really help you, okay, in real world, because the market decides who are you, okay, what are the things that you are doing, and how hard you can fight. Okay, that's what is important. The market decides about you. Okay, how good your idea is, how much impact it can make in somebody's life. Your market decides it. Okay, your background doesn't decide it. Okay, so like I guess that grant helped us a lot, because when we displayed it on our website, so more people were interested. Like they were like, okay, a big person, a big personality is like supporting, and maybe and we have won a grant from them. So maybe they have seen something in our idea, right? They have seen something. So from that, like we gained some traction. We gained some trust in the market. They were able to get to know about us, and obviously it stuck into the mind. And from that we got DMs. We got inbounds. So most people reached out, even angels, even angels, and some of the VCs, they reached out. So like, are you looking to raise funds and stuff? So yes, like these grants have really helped us. And again, like winning grants are very hard, because since these are grants, like so many people are applying, like so many crazy people are
Yes.
applying, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, so like, and I told you, right? So I never thought that I would make it. It was crazy Sunday morning. I got an email, congratulations, Riten, like you have won this grant.
Yeah,
So
because I
yeah, like
read that old blog which you have written on the grant, and I was so happy that you guys won the grant.
thank you, means a lot.
And you have people who are just writing in their bio that I'm startup owner of this, I'm running this startup. So what was your advice? What will be your advice for them?
So like I'm not in that position at the moment to give advices. To be very honest, like even at the moment I need advice, okay, from
Okay.
people. But like so there are a few things that I have observed. Like there are so many people. Trust me, I get DMs. They feel like I have like made big in my life already. So it's not true. Very honest. If anybody is watching this video, please know this. Okay, I haven't made anything yet. Okay, just I'm still growing. I have a lot to go. Okay, I'm still learning a lot every day. A lot. Okay. So yeah, like some of the things that I would like to mention here, like don't be very secretive about your idea. Okay, so like there are so many people, they don't share about your idea. Like they don't share about their idea. It's like they are very skeptical. They are like, if I tell them that this, they will go and execute it. Okay, but trust me, from an idea to an execution, it's a big game. It's a totally different game. Okay, and let me give you a framework. If your idea survives for a minimum of 5 years, now it will be successful. Okay,
Okay.
okay. Yes. So the point here is like you have to wait for that 5 year, and waiting for that 5 year, growing with a startup for 5 years is not an easy thing. It takes up life from you. Trust me. Okay, it would take life from you. Okay, like life as in like so much thing. It will take so much of your energy, so much of your like mental bandwidth. Like you won't have any personal life. Okay, so startups are that crazy. Because you are constantly validating your idea, talking with your customers. Like you're trying to validate your business model. So when you start a business, like there is already this business. Okay, like if I build this, if I go and sell this, someone will pay. Okay, that is your business idea, or an agency. You provide a service and done. Okay, but for a startup, it's like it's like you can say finding a vaccine for pandemic, yeah, for the like virus corona, because you have no idea if that vaccine is going to work on humans or not, right? So same for the startup idea as well. When you come with a startup idea, you have no idea if this thing will work. You just have to test it out with the people. Talk with them. Okay, if they really need it. Okay, how impactful it is going to for them. Like if this is something they will be using in their personal life as well. Is it something that they would recommend it with others? Is it saving their time? So there are so many questions. For this, one can read the book. That is this book, The Mom Test.
Okay.
So there are types of questions that you can ask. Say for example, let me give you a simple scenario in case of fueler. Okay, so like I can simply go and ask someone, ki, hey, have you used fueler? What's your experience? That is number one question. Like I can ask, like this is a case scenario one. I can ask this question. Also, there is one more question that I can ask a scenario two, where I can just tell them, hey, like what is the before getting fueler, like what was your like portfolio before? Like how you used to reach out to clients. How you used to like showcase your work to your client. What are the problems that you have faced? So like you can see both the situations, the questions are different, right? So you have to understand what are the questions that you have to ask, okay, to your people. And initially a lot of people mess this up. They just work on the idea, okay, and they just like start selling, or maybe they reach out to people. And this is why they need to work on, they need to talk with their customers, okay, like customers, or anyone, not anyone, obviously the target customer, okay, if they're really using it. And obviously most of the people are, what I saw now, they are very rude. Rude in terms of like asking. You are the person who are selling yourself, right? You have to be very, very, very polite, okay, very good in communication, okay. You have to make make the other person comfortable, so that you're not wasting their time, because they're already investing in you, okay, through their time. Why they should listen to you, right? So some people feel like they are very entitled. I don't know. Okay, so this is something people should keep in their mind. Okay, mostly the young founders that I have met, especially, okay, on obviously, like on Twitter. Whenever they come up with this idea, they just ask a small thing, and when I ask them what exactly you are trying to build, so they are like, I cannot share the idea with you, So that is when I feel like, no, this is not true, bro. Like you have to like test your idea with people, like don't be so secretive about idea, because from an idea to an execution, it's a different game. Okay, it's a different game altogether. Okay, so yeah, this is the thing. And I would say, like, work on the distribution, try to understand distribution. First time founder don't really understand distribution. Okay, so that is one of the problem. Okay, so I would suggest these people, whoever they are going to start a startup in the future, please learn about distribution. Okay, what is distribution? Because distribution is something that will make, that can like what that will make or say build your startup. Okay, so product is there, but what are the different distribution channels that you are using, to take your product to the end user? You have to build that distribution. So not many people, like, are obsessed about this. So they need to be understanding, they need to understand about this distribution game also, like be good at marketing at some point, because most founders are, they are engineers and they are builders, so they are like, if I build this pen, so like people will just come and buy it, so that's not true. You have to go and tell the world that why this pen is better, how this is going to help you, how this is going to save you money, right? So learn about marketing, learn about distribution, build your audience. Okay, having your audience is a big advantage, so that is one of the these are some of the few things I would suggest. And read books, read a lot of books. It will give you insights. Okay, it will make you a better person. Okay, and so startups are totally, like, I believe it's like whatever I'm today is because of startup, like very honest, because uh, just because of this startup, I saw the world very differently. I tried to understand, like, why between behind everything, if thing is working, why it is working. If this thing is not working, why not working. Okay, so if this thing, if someone is very obsessed about this idea, why they are obsessed about the idea, what are the different reasons behind it, so I chased all those reasons, I tried to understood, because I had to make an idea, successful, right? So I have to find all the possible points where I can, like, leverage, right? So yeah, so that is the thing. One should go and read a lot of books.
It really seems like running a startup is really tough, to be honest. And you seem to be an
it
expert
is.
in.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. I cannot. I can just talk on and on, a day long on this. It's super tough. Super tough. Like you can. You will have money problem. You will have team problem. You will have this
Yeah.
time problem.
Yes.
What are the different things that you have to do? At the same time, you have to upgrade yourself. I guess a team, a startup team, they should always keep this in their mind, and they have to upgrade themselves every day from every front. They have to be intellectually smart. They have to be humble. They have to be polite. They have to be healthy, like healthy as well. Because if your engine
Yes.
is not good, you cannot build an engine, right? Your startup is basically your engine. So yes, so you have to fix your engine first. You have to be healthy at the same time, so that you are smiling, you are talking, you have this full of energy. Then only you can build the other thing, or you can talk with the team members, give them energy so that they can work and stuff, right? So
So how are you keeping up with that engine? You seems to be an expert in freelancing, startup, and you do make videos on YouTube, and you seems to have a community on Discord and also on Twitter. So how do you keep up with that engine?
I don't know, like, so there is, see, like, how do I put this, like, so it's just like, I don't know, like, it just keep me moving, like, I am just passionate about this thing, I'm just passionate about this idea. I have to just do it every day, I have to just pump out energy every day. That is my motivation, that is my inspiration, like, I have to chase this big picture, I have to do something, I don't know, like, maybe this thing is very overrated, but like, there is isn't any particular thing. It's just like, I want to do something, that is something that I'm driven by, I want to do something, like, if I'm failed today, I'll do again, I'll start again, I'll just do it from scratch. That is how, like I'm committed to that thing, if I'm doing something. And this is not for just this startup, back in my college days, school days, whatever things that I took up, I put my full energy so that the thing is best, so because I told you, right, I always think from experience point of view. Even if I'm just having this call with you, I'll try my best to make it a best experience for
Yes.
you, right? So that you are learning something, right? So So everything that every any task that I take, I try my best to make a great experience for the other person as well, or all the other person, so that they have something to take away. So
That's yeah, that's
yeah,
actually great.
like
And one thing which I really want to ask, and many people seems to be interested in this. So why one should choose a platform like Fueler, even though we have many
okay.
platforms like LinkedIn, Peerlist, so many
Correct,
platforms.
correct,
Yeah.
correct. So yeah, so currently, see, you can say a fueler. If you see, okay, like it's more like a tool at the moment, okay. But like we are working on the distribution part mainly, okay. Distribution why? Because see, when you join currently you are joining a tool, okay. You will be using a tool, but we are trying to build this community, okay. We are trying to build this platform, okay. So like this, which is dedicatedly for the generalist. Why generalist? Because see, we have seen a lot of people are good at a multiple skill, okay, but there is a very lack of, like, there is this need of a platform where they can showcase themselves, they can publish all of their works, okay. It doesn't matter what of the work these are, they can publish it, okay. So like if you, since you took the example of like a LinkedIn and Peerless, okay, so most of these platforms are social platform. They are social platform, you have to go and spend time there, so
Yes.
we are not yet a social platform there, right? We haven't become a social, if you see our platform, it's not a
Yeah.
social platform yet, right?
Yes.
So we are, our north star metric is not daily active user, like, so we just want to solve this utility problem. If you ask us, our core thing is your work part, your work. We know that for a human, your works, all your works are your foundation, so like we want to just like make it a best place for you, so that you can just save it here, trust on ourselves, and you can keep it here, and you can come back and use it any way you want it. We want to build this future of work thing, where you are confident about what you are going to do in your future, right? Say, like, for example, waking up every day with your opportunity, like knocking what you do, right? So you can choose from which are the opportunities that you want to work with, okay. So currently, like, we are not there, we are not we haven't gone there, where this is going to happen, okay. So like very soon it's going to be there, because currently the awareness is very strong, we are creating a lot of awareness around proof of work, so again, our platform is more like your full stack work portfolio, where you have the liberty to do a lot of things with your work. You can switch between job, you can just go and take a freelancing, because you have your work in place, okay. And now, since you have Fuller bucket as well, you can create multiple version of yourself. Like if you're doing freelancing, you can upsell your clients, so there are so many things that you can do. And again, if you set the contrasting thing here, so we are not a social platform yet, so let's take an example of Canva, right? You don't go to Canva every day, like you
Yes.
don't get to go to Canva whenever it's required, you just go. But in your mind, it's there that whenever I have a design requirement, okay, I'll be going to Canva, okay, or say Figma, right? Any design tool, okay. So like it's more like a utility tool. So that is what we are trying to build, but for your work portfolio, for your work, all your work thing, okay. And obviously, like, there is no dedicated platform for a generalist at the moment, so we have to make it a very very niche specific for people who are good at a multiple skills. So come here, publish it, and all that, and most of the tools that are in the market at the moment, they are targeting the tech professionals and stuff, okay. So we are targeting the non-tech people mainly, because they have to spend a lot. Also, it's a very headache thing to like to showcase their work, they at the moment, like, they have to what pay for website and stuff, they have to hire freelancer to showcase their work, okay. So we are trying to solve that thing as well, so marketer, product manager, designers are also there, full stack designers are also there, okay. We are just good at design, but not at building a website. So we are trying to what capture those, the non-tech professionals.
So, and since you have mentioned a lot about work and proof of work, so what do you, and you do have the slogan, right? Proof of work when it comes to Fueler, and you used to use that in every social platform. So, what
Yep,
exactly is
correct.
mean by proof of work?
Okay, so simple example. Okay, so let's take an example. You get this you get this social media post where it says we are looking for someone who can help us with the podcast. Okay, big podcast. Okay, so now, like, they're looking for someone who is good at podcast, right? So you saw it already, right? So you can DM that person, hey, I know, like, I can create podcast for you. So like I'm interested for this job. Okay, so this is scenario one. There is a different scenario where you are in the multiverse. You're just reaching out to them and you are telling, hey, like, I can help you with this. You can see I have done some of the podcasts in the previous, like in the past. These are some. This is the link you can follow. I have done both video podcast. I have done both the video and audio podcast. You can check it out. So what do you think? To whom the person would reply?
Especially the person who shows his work.
that is your proof of work, right? You know what exactly that person needs, right? And you have already acted upon that, right? So this is what your proof of work is all about, so you know something, you just work on this, you work on that stuff, and you just like share with your, say, like what, like share with the client, or say like share with the brand that you want to work with. Okay, and see, I'm not saying like Fueler only provides you proof of work thing, so proof of work can be anywhere. Even if you can document your proof of work on a Google Doc, on your Canva, on your Figma link, so you yourself do it in a Figma link. Okay, so let me give you a thing here, so what Fueler does is now it gives you discovery. That is the point we are trying to solve here, so like try to understand this. Like most of our work, what, say for example, I have created some sort of proposal for any brand, so I have applied to that brand, and it's done. Okay, and that file, it's say like the connection currently it's between me and that person. Only both the person, we both can see the doc link, and that's it, right? And it is already on your private link, right? There is no discovery point for it. So that is why we are trying to solve this by Fueler. Like Fueler gives you this publishing platform where you can publish all sort of your work. Okay, so for example, like you being a designer yourself, you can create some product strategy for a company. Okay, they are looking for a consultant, or say like you as a consultant can help them, right? So you are not someone just to do their work. Also, you are someone who can suggest them better strategy to implement on their product, right? So you can write about their UX strategy, what they should be implementing on. So that what you can do two ways. You can do it either on the Google Doc, or you can present it through Figma, or maybe on the Canva. You can just paste the screenshot and you write something around it, right? So the same thing, there is a link for it, right? So the same link you can put it on your Fueler profile. Okay, you are publishing your work there, right? So what really happens, when somebody goes onto our platform and they are looking for someone to collaborate with, to work with, to hire someone, to whenever they search it, and that is when your profile comes up, so they get discovery, you get discovery, right? So that is what we are trying to solve with Fueler. We are trying to build this platform. Okay, so basically what Fueler does, it helps you publishes all your work. Okay, what work you have, it could be your writing work, it could be your presentation work, it could be your PDF work, right? It could be in your PDF, or it could be your project on Figma, like since maybe you have made any project that is published on Figma community. So what if that same link you could have put it on the Fueler, so it's like it helps you build this distribution for yourself, right? And the best part about here is, like, whenever you want to apply to different companies, all of them have different requirements, right? So we understood this problem ourselves, and we came up with this thing, Fueler bucket, where as per my requirement I can pick things, and then I just can send the person. It helps me create a different landing page of my selective work. So let me give a simple example for this. Whenever you are going on a trip, okay, you don't take the whole wardrobe with you, right?
Yes. Yeah.
What do you take? You pick up some of the clothes, right? And you take it with you. That is what Fueler bucket is all about. So whenever your vacation is basically the opportunity that you are going to apply, and you pick up the work that you actually want to showcase. That's it. You won't be sharing all your work, right? So that is not worth it for the other person. Okay. Also, at times, what happens now, when you share a lot of work now, they don't see anyone at all. They just want to see 2, 3, or 4 work of yours. Okay, that is the ideal case, right? They don't have time to go through all your work.
Yes.
Like, say for
Yeah.
example, that brand is in the field of education, okay, and you have shared some of the work that is, say, maybe in case of Web3, okay, or maybe in case of, say, food, okay, that is so irrelevant for that person, right? So like, this is what Fueler bucket does. So I told you, right, once you publish all your work on Fueler, it helps you like create, it helps you like do remix of your work. You can create multiple separate landing pages of your work, and based on that you can apply. Okay, so your Fueler profile is something else, and again your Fueler bucket profile is something else. It helps you create multiple landing pages. Okay, so I hope I was able to explain,
Yes. You
how different
legit
we are trying to
answered
do.
my next two questions in a single go. Like, I was about to ask what is Fueler bucket and how it is different from having my own dribble portfolio. So you just answered
Correct.
everything. And
Yeah.
I
So
will,
like,
yeah. So having a own startup have its own struggles, right? So how do you deal with trolls and comments?
deal with any sort of problem. Like, can you be more specific about this? Like, what exactly?
Like, people used to troll about your startup in the initial stages, right? It doesn't work and it won't
Uh,
work out, something like that. So how do you deal
Actually,
with those?
yeah, but see, like, to be very honest, now, in my journey, I haven't found anyone yet. I don't know if they have done it. Maybe it's on my back. I never focused on that. Or also, like, maybe it's because, like, it's not there are people who say no, there are people who hate me and stuff. So for me, this thing never happened. I never saw the world this way. Like I never feel like this person hates me. Because I haven't done anything to him. So there's no reason that they will hate me, right? So like I don't think like it has ever happened with me. They trolled me or anything. So obviously like you have to separate yourself up from the people. Also have a tribe of for yourself where you can like belong to. So you won't be like going to a group or where that that person won't be appreciating whatever you're trying to do. So maybe that has worked for me, back because from my college days itself. So I was so it's very hard, like to find your community. Okay, so people who are very passionate about startup and
Yes.
stuff. Okay, very limited people, you cannot interact with them. Also like they're not there, they might not be equally passionate about
Yes.
the problems that you are trying to solve. Okay, or maybe say for example you saw a new startup and you are trying to discuss with it someone, and they are like, yeah, don't
Yeah.
bore me with this stuff. Like, yeah, you'll face such thing. So like in order to solve this, what I do now, I try to find my community. I try to build audience on my socials. So that way I try to find my community. Okay, so the only regret that I have back then is like I should be active on Twitter. I should have been active on Twitter.
Yes. Even I
Okay,
do
rather
have
than
the.
other.
Yeah. Even I do have
Yeah,
that
so
regret.
like yeah, so back in my college days, like the only regret if I have is like I should have been active on Twitter. But it's okay, like because in my college days I have learned a lot. I literally had no idea about startup and entrepreneurship. It's just in my college first year I learned about entrepreneurship. So slowly like I get to learn more about it, what startups are, okay, what ideas are, how to work on this idea. Okay, so I always had this in my mind. I have to do something in the field of business. So I have to create something. Then I learn more about it, how someone is doing it, how to do it. Either I can start a business like that is already existing in the market. Okay, I can just manufacture a product and I can sell it, right? Or start an agency. Or I can do is I can work on a startup idea. Okay, that is something new, that will be something new to the market, which will be disruptive and right. So like you have to find that community for yourself. For me, I guess I found books. I found books. I used to buy a lot of books. So I used to always like surround myself with that thing. So in that way, you're already having that barrier that nobody's going to bullshit with you. Okay, trust me, this thing really works. So yeah, this thing has helped me. And regarding the trolling part, I haven't faced it. Even though like if there was, I don't know about it. Okay, so I haven't faced it yet.
And as you said, you seems to be very passionate about your particular startup. And have you ever felt like any or had any bad days where you feel like, okay, I should just give up?
So like giving up is not an option for me. Like so there is nothing sitting for me out there. Like if I leave this, they are sitting for me. I can just go there. There's nothing like that. So for me, there is no giving up sort of things. But yeah, there are low days. Very low days. Trust me. It mostly happens during night. See,
Yes.
night are one of the best productive days for me. Like best productive nights for me. Because that is the time. Like say for example, during nights, like in just 2-3 hours, I can do like say 7-8 hours of work. So that's how productive my nights are. Okay, but also at the same time the night could be like very scary. Okay, because you're hit with a different sort of like what thoughts. Like so like you could be thinking what happens after this. What happens after this, what if this doesn't think work out and stuff. So you have this sort of things. Like you have to face it. But how do I say, like music has helped me a lot. And talking to our users has helped me a lot. Whenever I face such situations, I take help of this. Or maybe like I exercise. So that way I'm distracting my mind. Okay, I read. Okay, so that way I'm distracting my mind. Or at times we focus too much into micro thing. That's when these things happen. So you have to just zoom out. Okay, you just have to see what you have done in the past. Okay, how far you have come. Okay, and you have to constantly motivate yourself. Okay, and obviously distract yourself. So yeah, there are days, I won't be lying. Okay, there are super bad days. A few days back only I was texting on our team channel. It was 5 p.m. and I was literally saying, guys, I cannot sleep. I cannot sleep. So that's really true. If you ask Abhishek or other team members, they will tell you this. So this thing really happens.
Okay, that's actually great. But I feel like you
Not
start.
great.
But
Okay.
when you are passionate about the startup, it seems to be great, right?
Yeah. There is no option. You have to be passionate about what you're doing. That's, I guess this is one of the things that picks you up and like fuels you to go ahead. I guess this is the thing. If you're not passionate about the thing, if you're just just doing it for the sake of doing and just to show someone, I don't think like you would be able to go very far. Okay, and then startup, you have to go very far. You have to at least have that energy to go far. Because startups are marathon. right? It's not a sprint, right? You can say it's a sprint, but in between there are marathons, in between marathons there are sprint. Okay, so like it's like that, startups are like that. So if you're not passionate about your idea on the thing you are doing, you will be giving up very easily. That is something I have learned.
And one thing I've noticed since the beginning of this call is you seems to be comfortable talking with people around the internet. And I'm legit scared even right now to speak with any people on the internet. So how do you deal with this thing?
So like see, this is my like you can say this is my default configuration.
Okay.
Okay, this is my default configuration. Okay, so like as as on the mobile devices or any gadget, we have this default configuration, right? So for me, it's a default configuration because on a daily basis, I have to deal with strangers, right? So every day we are getting a lot of users, so I just take time and reach out to those people, just I talk with them, I just thank them, just the first thing, the first message for me is like I just thank them, thanks for trusting us, with your time, with your energy, you have taken your time to publish your work here, so it means a lot to us, so I spend literally most of my time doing that, I email them, I talk with them on social media, okay, maybe through LinkedIn, through Twitter, okay, and through what through Instagram. Okay, so today what exactly happened, let me give you a scenario. Okay, there was this account, okay, it was anonymous account. Okay, so like I didn't find any of this channel that I could DM that person with. Okay, so I found finally I found it on Instagram. Okay, so that's when I saw, okay, let's DM this person. Okay, so I reached out, messaged them. Okay, just was so grateful about like their thing, and let me tell you, that person is true generalist. That person that person is a writer, okay, fiction writer, okay, as well as UX writer, okay. Also, that person is a designer. See,
Okay.
like, and there is no single platform that will cover all of their work. Okay, they can do it on their personal website, but again, I told you that's a headache, right? So this
Yes.
is a perfect use case for us, where I literally like went to that person. I just thank and then told that like thanks a lot, for trusting us, like and sharing all your work here, like it means a lot. Okay, and that person replied, okay, like, hey, like I saw you on Discord, so thanks a lot for building this platform and stuff. So I was like, yeah, like it's fine, it's our pleasure, okay, it's to the team, okay, they have done an incredible job, so after that I asked him, like, what is your name, okay, what is your name, okay. So that person was like, I have never shared with anyone, okay,
Okay.
my name, okay, because and I have seen this trend, most of these Gen Zs, they are sitting anonymous, like they are sitting
Yes.
anonymous, they have this different sort of name, so it's very hard for me to connect with, trust me, like I find it so hard to connect with people who don't have any particular name, because I really want to connect with you in a personal level, okay. So I want to know your name, okay, and it's really good if I can see your face as well, okay. So that person was like, I haven't shared with anyone, okay, till date, okay, but since like you are building this company and this startup, I really liked it, so this is my name. So like it became a memory for me, right? It was like so amazing, it was such a great experience for me myself, right? So I went to him and told like how I felt about your thing. You came onto our platform, you showed your work, okay, and I showed my appreciation and stuff. So that way we connected, right? So see, it was just what it happened during evening itself, So it was all stranger kind of a thing. So for me, like you can say, this has become my like default configuration. I am hardwired at the moment to connect with people and talk with them, okay, and what like I guess everything happens eventually, whatever you're talking, I'm trying my best to give you best experience, okay, in any way I could. So that way it happens, I don't think much.
So let's end this with one last question. I just want you to pitch in your startup for the people who are about to just get started with your startup.
Okay. So
So
this is
that
something new, like it's like an elevation kind of pitch, right?
yeah.
Right, elevation pitch, right? Okay, so like do we let's generalize this. Okay, so Fueler is an online platform, okay, where you can showcase your proof of work, okay, the project that you have worked in till date, okay, also the collaboration, okay, and based on that you can land opportunities, and opportunities that are better than the random opportunities where you have sent your resumes and CVs. Okay, here you are getting the opportunities based on your proof of work, okay, that is your project that you have created. So yeah, come please join us, try this out, and if you are someone who is multi-skilled, okay, if you are good at a lot of things, a lot of skills, this platform is dedicatedly for you, okay, and this is waiting for you. Just come, hop in, okay, and if you have watched this video till end, okay, thank you so much, means a lot to me, because like any sort of support for a team like us, and it's totally very like I'm very humble, like our whole team is humble. Whenever we get any sort of support from the community. So yeah, like this is it.
To be honest, it's my pleasure having you here on my YouTube channel. I learned a lot about startup freelancing and even got some huge tips which can really save my time when it comes to freelancing. So yeah, thank you.
Okay, so if you have any questions, just drop me. Okay, so I'll just get back to you.
Yeah,
Okay.
thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Bye
Bye.
bye. See you again.
Yeah.